Hi guys, welcome back. It's been a minute since we did Get Ready With Me. Like, I can't even remember the last time, but I'm determined now. I have gone through some stuff this morning and I've thought, right, this afternoon I'm going to dedicate to really clearing out my makeup stuff. I'm going to reorganise everything that's in here because it's just a bit of all over the place. Where I actually want to do my makeup now, my makeup isn't. It's kind of over there and it's a whole thing. Anyway, I'm going to put on some makeup, we're going to chat a little bit and see where my mind takes us. So first things first, I have just had my brows redone. So these are freshly microbladed brows and I'm going to be avoiding the top half of my face for that reason. I'm just going to put on a little bit of concealer. This is Radiant Lift from Max Factor. I'm quite enjoying this, you know. I wasn't sure at first, but especially for wearing it this way, just like a little bit of something. Way before YouTube, I actually didn't wear full base. I pretty much consistently wore just concealer where I needed it. And as with so much, once I started YouTube, I was like, oh, this is the way you're supposed to do this. And never really considered that you could just do things your own way, you know. Actually, I'm going to put a tiny bit of concealer just on my forehead because the pigmentation is always worst in the summertime, in spite of the fact that I wear SPF every single day now. And I do also still have the scarring left over from my incident, which if you missed, I had a garden situation and a massive black eye. And the lady who redid my brows this morning, I go to Twins Salon in Doncaster and she's called Juliana, she's amazing. And I pay for my treatments, this is not sponsored in any way. But she said as she was doing them, she was like, oh, that does feel strange. She actually said as she was going over it, that it was like, ugh, odd. Feels odd to actually be microblading that area. I think she said it felt softer. Oh! Just thinking about it. So last night I was going through my Pinterest for when I have my hair done next week because I'm definitely overdue a hair appointment. Look at those roots. And I was trying to decide what I was going to do. And I think consistently Elizabeth Olsen's kind of dirty blonde hair comes up in my hairspiration posts. I actually looked back from the last time I had it done at what pictures I took, and Elizabeth Olsen was on there as well. So I think I'm kind of going to go for like a dark blonde, something slightly like a more of a light brown base underneath here, less blonde throughout, maybe a little bit more blonde up here, just more blonde kind of on the top section and more dark through the midsection. We'll see. Anyway, I was looking at pictures of Elizabeth Olsen last night, as you do, and looking at the makeup she was wearing and thinking, oh, I want to buy something new, I want to do this, I want to do that, and I filled my cart with various things that I wanted to buy, and then I thought, this is insane, I know I've got products that would do these things. One of the things that I wanted to get was the Stila convertible colour, and I thought the thing I'm using at the moment is practically the same thing. So this is the Sugar Ball Cushion Cheek Colour. I got this from Yes Style. I got it with a coupon they gave me a million years ago. And this particular colour, which... number 3. It's all in Korean, so I'd have a hard time actually reading that to you, but it's number 3. It's like a special kind of colour. It's almost pastel-y neon, like a muted neon. It really lifts, I find. I really, really like that colour. I've been really into that. I also really like the Maybelline Cheek Heat. These kind of corally, something that adds brightness but without too much of anything because I'm very heavy-handed. I thought, this is absolutely crazy. I'm going to just use that instead. I've got various cream products that I can play with in the meantime. I also wanted kind of a more creamy eyeshadow. I used to love this. I don't know if this is actually dead now. Oh no, I think it's still good because it's got a big crack in it. I don't even think you can get this anymore. This is Dauphine Truffle from H&M. If you can still get this, can't recommend it highly enough. I used to talk about it all the time. Do you know this is still good? And it's years old. Because it's so easy with a fluffy brush to just smudge over your lid. The absolute easiest smoky eye that you will ever do. I used to use that all over and then do like a smudgy brush around the edges as well. It's so pretty. But I'm actually going to use that as a base for something that I wrote off as terrible pretty early on. I can't screw the lid back on these. I would actually buy more of these if they are still available. This is the Colour Chameleon in Amber Haze for brown eyes from Charlotte Tilbury. It needs sharpening, but I'm going to use a brush, so let's see what we can get. This I found to be terrible. Gorgeous. Really, really lovely on. No, it's not really picking up. A really gorgeous colour. It's not... I think I'm going to need to sharpen it just to get it to be damp. Oh no, okay, it is going on. Just been digging around for my pencil sharpener and it's not to be found, so we're going to just move on and make do. So when I first bought this, I thought it was going to be the most amazing thing because obviously Charlotte Tilbury, everybody raves about Charlotte Tilbury, and it's this beautiful bronzy cream shadow stick, like what's not to love. But I just found that it didn't last at all. Now, I was looking at the reviews again last night and I thought these reviews are really, really good. I'm gonna give it another go. I think with Charlotte Tilbury stuff, I've never been impressed. I've never found anything that I've gone, oh no, I tell a lie. Pillow Talk lip liner. That's really, really good. But other than that, I feel I've always been disappointed. I think part of it's probably just that it's so overhyped. Everyone raves about Charlotte Tilbury and I just didn't get it. But we'll see. I'm gonna try again with this. See if I can get a little bit on this brush for underneath my eyes. Just enjoy a bronze smoky eye. Don't we all? Then I've got this L'Oreal Gel Intenser eyeliner in 03 Violet Black, which again, I think is an old shade, but it's like a shimmery. I find that shimmery gel liners are a little bit easier to work with because they're not quite as opaque and they're a little bit drier. Almost all of them that I've tried, it's just a little bit drier, and so you don't feel like you're putting on, it doesn't feel like you're painting on eyeliner. It's more like working with a pencil, but on a brush. So since lockdown, I've spoken about this probably in my last Get Ready With Me. I don't know why when I want to talk about these things, I want to do kind of like a let's do my makeup at the same time. I don't know. But since lockdown, I have found that Instagram is recommending to me more and more plastic surgery pages. Like more and more stuff that is specific to fillers, here's how you do this, here's Botox, whatever it might be, before and after stuff. I actually started following one particular surgeon because he was really entertaining. In a completely different country, there's no way I'm ever going to visit this guy, even if I wanted to. But I just kind of ended up following him because he made these funny reels. And I'm realizing more and more that I'm just kind of getting sucked into this. I'm seeing more and more and more of it, and it's becoming more and more normal. And I'm starting to look at myself and think, well, obviously I'll have this done, or obviously I'll have that done. By the way, my eyebrows do not hurt at all. They're not, like, the first time I ever had them done by someone completely different, I remember coming home and, like, doing this or moving my eyebrow and being like, it hurts so much. They don't hurt at all. The woman I go to now is just fantastic. But yeah, I feel like now, things that I absolutely was never considering having done, I'm starting to think about as, well, it's inevitable that I will eventually. I think my most recent one, which is a total turnaround, is Botox. And I definitely think it's because I'm seeing more of my face without makeup. I'm seeing myself in vlogs, especially. I'm very rarely wearing makeup when I'm vlogging. I'm just kind of confronted with my own tired-looking face a lot more often than I used to be. It used to feel more like I would look in the mirror, do my makeup, and then feel pretty good about myself. And because I'm wearing makeup less, I am seeing my naked face more, and I'm just being more critical because I'm not then also being surrounded by all of this stuff on Instagram about filler and how we can make ourselves look better with just a few injectables. Don't get me wrong, I've no problem with fillers or Botox or whatever you want to have done. I just feel like we're being told we need it now. And I would have liked to think that I wasn't susceptible to that, but I absolutely am. I'm starting to believe it. I previously said no Botox, no nothing. I definitely didn't want lip filler. I'm still not interested in lip filler. You know, cute, in a year's time, I'll probably have lip filler, but I'm not at all. But I'm starting to think maybe I would like some Botox here, because I'm seeing my face more and more. Oh, what did I just do? I'm seeing my face more and more like, I do have a good little line there. This doesn't really bother me, just this little bit. I know that at some point maybe I would want filler in like this area to kind of lift stuff, because I know that I'm going to get jowly, but I'm also super aware that the more filler you have, it's kind of like your stomach when you have a baby, and that it's going to stretch it out, and then when the filler dissolves, surely you'll have saggier skin than you did before. Surely that's how it works. I don't know. I think at least if you have it before you need to have it done, if you have it once the skin is sagged, then it's just filling the skin that's already there. It's not stretching anything out. But if you have it before you really need it, then surely that is how it works. Same as with your lips. I don't know. I'm trying, in my mind, 40 is the year. I'm 35 right now, and in my mind I'm thinking, if you can get to 40, then you can have some stuff. I just want to get to 40 because I'm concerned that it's a slippery slope, and once you start doing those things and it becomes more normal to do those things, that you'll be like, well, I'll just have this bit more and this bit more, and, you know, again, absolutely no judgment towards anyone that has anything done. Beyond, I really do, you know, I really wish that people wouldn't start so young. But that is coming from someone who has a teenager who in the next few years will probably be like, I'm going to have this and I'm going to have that. And I'm thinking more of from a parent's perspective. You know, again, you do you. But do you feel that way? Do you feel like you're seeing it so often that you think you should have it? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me, and I'm now just kind of a set in my ways type of person. I am realising more and more that I'm older than I think I am. Right, this is Glow Cherie from L'Oreal. And I usually put this on underneath foundation and stuff, but I'm just going to put it on kind of as I would a highlight with a brush. Let's see how this goes over the top of things, because I've not done it like this before. Woo. Do we like or not? Do we think it looks terrible? Possibly. Possibly. It's also the first time I've used this brush. You know, I don't know. I think it looks okay. I was also watching something the other day about like mummy makeover things. And someone was having like a boob job and a whatever, all these different things that she was having done. And the one thing that whenever I watch programs about like little nips and tucks that I think I could probably go for is a mini tummy tuck, because I've had 2 C-sections. I've got, and I know I've spoken about this before, but I'm talking to those of you who haven't heard me. I know this is not abnormal, but I've got a shelf of scar tissue just above my C-section scar that's like, I can feel it. It's hard. It's like you can feel specifically, you know, I'm not skinny around my middle. I'm not saying that, you know, that's all scar tissue, but I do have specifically like an area of scar tissue that I can feel is really hard just above my C-section scar. And I would like someone to just correct that whole thing. The problem is I do tend to overheal. I do tend to scar badly. And which is why I've got, if you see, can we see it in this? Possibly. Maybe not. There, I've got, you can just see, that's not where my scar is here from my incident, but it's done something here to my eyebrow because I've got scar tissue underneath the brow, and that's happened in that area. And so also part of me thinks, well, anything you have done is going to go terribly wrong, isn't it? Because overhealing and scarring and stuff. But I don't know, it's just kind of on my mind again recently. Whenever I talk about this, I get a bunch of people who are like, don't have anything done, you know, blah, 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 blah. That's not really what I'm saying. I'm not saying that I'm like sitting here desperate to have something done. I'm more just, I want to know how you're feeling right now. Is this something, am I on my own that suddenly I'm feeling this way? Or I know I spoke about this on Instagram yesterday, and quite a few people said that they had succumbed to things that previously they weren't even interested in. And I think it is just because we're kind of living with ourselves a little bit more. And we're trying to, I don't know, maybe just turn back the clock. Literally, like, pretend none of this happened. This is another Charlotte Tilbury product. This is Between the Sheets lipstick. Oh my goodness. That is not the colour I thought it was going to be. I bought this so long ago and I just wasn't impressed. And now I'm like, have I made a mistake? That is quite pink. I think it's possible that I bought this when I was very, very blonde, because my current colouring doesn't work with the pink like this. This is Beauty Pie Nothing Nude. This was sent to me because I've never had a Beauty Pie subscription. Ooh, that's nice. It's glossy. I really need to go through this collection because I didn't even know I had this. This is nice. I am feeling the highlight. I really liked using that way. The eyes, I'm not recommending that Charlotte Tilbury pencil to you yet. Watch this space, because if maybe it needed to dry out. Maybe at first it was because it was a much drier pencil when I just used it than it was when I first bought it. It was very, very creamy and it just separated on my eyelids so quickly. It just creased and wasn't great. And I just was expecting more for the money. So I'll keep you posted. But I love the colour. I hope that it works, but we'll see, we'll see. And this was a real standout. I love the Beauty Pie Nothing Nude. It doesn't say anything else about it on the packaging, but I'm guessing it's like a shiner or a glossy something, because it's got a glossy finish to it. But I will try to remember to list everything below. Also, the mascara that I used was the Sky High from Maybelline, mostly because I can't find my regular one because everything is a mess, and I'm going to sort this out today. I will see you guys on Friday. It's a few hours later. This was not intended, but we'll do a little check-in on the makeup just because, we're here. The lipstick, I haven't touched up at all. Obviously, it's faded. The majority of it is gone. But looking in the mirror, the colour's pretty much there. It's just kind of the shine that's gone. It's probably been like 5 hours. I think it looks okay, I'm outside school and someone asked me to move my car so that they could move their car up a little bit. But now I'm fully wedged in, so let's hope I can get out. So as I was saying, as suspected, it did crease, the Charlotte Tilbury. That said, I wasn't wearing a primer underneath it. I've made a little basket today of makeup items that I've been disappointed with, that I want to try again. Some of them I just know are going to be terrible, but I thought it might make like an interesting video series. There's quite a lot. I've been like decluttering stuff and reorganizing my makeup, so I've got quite a lot of stuff there. And I think over the course of a few videos, we'll try them again and just see. Sometimes I'm a little quick to judge because I'm going through so many things. Anyway, so the makeup has held up okay. The underneath actually is quite nice. I think I could probably put that Charlotte Tilbury on a brush and just kind of smudge it underneath my eye. Anyway, the main reason for the kind of added clip at the end is I've been thinking a little more about the cosmetic surgery thing. And I think that ultimately what is really bugging me about it is that I don't want to want anything done. And I don't think necessarily that social media is to blame. I think that's definitely normalized things. I think it's definitely made it so that we're holding ourselves to like a non-natural standard. I think we're looking at ourselves and comparing ourselves with people who have had procedures, which is obviously abnormal and not what used to be the case. But that's not really the problem. I think the real problem is that I'm annoyed with myself, that I am comparing myself with these women, and that I am succumbing to this pressure. And I think that is really ultimately what is kind of niggling away at me, is that I thought I could not. I thought I would be fairly firm in my resolve to age naturally. I always thought, well, maybe I would have a tiny tweak, maybe eventually, but I definitely thought I would make it later than 35 before I wanted to have nips and tucks. And I think ultimately that's ultimately is my word of the day. But I think that is the thing that's bugging me, if I'm completely honest with myself. And I do think that the whole lockdown of it all has definitely impacted my image of myself, and the fact that we're not going out, we're not kind of, whoa, someone is backing right up into my car. So the fact that we're not like dolling ourselves up, I'm not actually seeing myself. Occasionally you'd do yourself up, you'd dress nicely, you'd go out and you'd be like, this is what I can look like. scrub up okay, and we're doing that less and less, and at one point not at all. And so we're just living with our natural selves and then constantly going on social media and seeing other people who have scrubbed up. And that's the real thing. This is just a complete brain dump. But I wanted to put it out there because I've spoken about this before, and I think people immediately want to jump to tell me not to have anything done. And that's not really why I'm talking about it. I'm talking about it because I want to know, are you feeling this way too? Is this a pandemic in itself? An epidemic, rather? Is this something that you think, is it just my age? Is it just what would have happened anyway? Is it the lockdown? What is it? Why do I suddenly feel like, yeah, I could go and get Botox? I don't know.